I'm doing good, man. It has been a long time. I'm looking forward to getting back into the scene. I've never casted one of your midweek madness events. I'm really excited to see what goes down. Okay. Rogue. Oh. I'm looking forward to seeing how these work together, because there's probably different strats at different levels between you said that goes from silver to diamond? It's gonna be interesting to see if there's like a lot of carrying going on, or if there's different people working a little bit closer together just because they have that closer SR, and somebody maybe who goes out on a limb and kind of gets the kills, or gets the
Okay,
big
so
game plays because they're such
well,
high SRs.
there was an audio issue. Okay, I guess OBS likes to really mess with me whenever like I unplug stuff. So
Oh no.
my whole intro there kind of got interrupted. So sorry about that. Let me just make an adjustment. I gotta let the teams know about that real quick. So sorry for the interruption.
In the meantime, though, these teams are really kind of just kind of thrown together. So we won't be seeing a lot of people who have actually played the game together a lot. There may be a couple people who have been on the same team before, maybe on the same team currently, but a lot of these guys are just kind of hosh poshed in here to make these teams together. So it's going to be interesting to see the kind of communication we got going on. I'm pretty sure these guys have mics, but they've never played together, a lot of them, and it's really going to be a weird dynamic, not only getting to know a person, but immediately getting into a game and playing with them. And
Yeah,
these are all somewhat competitive as well, so that's
yeah.
going to be a stress on them
Teams
too.
do competitive. They kind of compete for like a pink name in the Discord, and when when you're a lower level player, it's kind of good to be able to play with people you normally wouldn't because they're on a higher level. So you kind of get to learn a little bit. Of course, it's Overwatch University. We our environment around getting better at the game and trying to teach people and teams how to get better on a player and team level. So I was trying to say before when my mic was gone, the teams that we have are D United, Team Fluid, and Brogue. So I'll play off of actual pro teams. I didn't come up with the names. We have a list of names that I just choose from for teams when I put them together. And as I was trying to tell Tough on Dirt before no one could hear him, Midweek Madness is where teams are essentially composed of individual signups, and they're on random teams, but it's in a way random, but at the same time it's there is like a math to it. We do like a snake style drafts, but we do have people from Masters all the way down to bronze in here. So as I was saying before, there's 3 Masters per team, like 3 diamonds per team, 6 not 3 diamonds per team. There's 3 Masters overall, so 1 Master per team, 1 diamond per team, 2 golds, or like no, 2 plats, 2 golds, and 1 like bronze or silver. So it's like pretty even across most of the teams. Average SR I'd say would probably be in platinum. I don't have the exact numbers, but we do have D United going up first against Team Fluid on Dorado. They will also be playing Oasis, and if needed, Hanamura. That will be match 1, and the loser from this will go on to face Brogue, and then after that, Brogue will face the winner from this series. That way we get all 3 games in here, and we'll hopefully have some great action tonight. I'm going to tell the teams already now. I've been talking for a bit, even though people couldn't hear me, but let them know that we are ready, and make sure I do hide chat and stuff. So.
Traveling to Dorado.
Background, we had the Horizon Lab there. Are we ever going to see that map played in competitive, you think?
Yeah, it will be added. And it's actually in this tournament. I do have it there, but it's not going to be until like the final match series, and that's if they go to a 3-game series. So it's not out of the picture. We will possibly see it.
I actually haven't seen any competitive games on that map right now, and I would love to see some people go into space and I get those sick plays.
Yeah, and if I believe correctly, that they actually they used it in the World Cup, I believe.
No way. Dang, I should have watched that.
I think they did. But we got 40 seconds here till the game starts, and Doomfist will be coming up tomorrow for those who have maybe forgot. And I don't think we're gonna not put Doomfist into our events because it isn't the middle of the season. So we probably will be seeing some Doomfist next week during Midweek Madness. So if you want to try Doomfist, in a little bit of a competitive environment, feel free to stay around for Midweek Madness next week and hop into the action. But we will be having, as long as I have these teams right, I gotta make sure I do have them right, because that'd be terrible if I don't. But let's just get in the action.
Let's hop in the action here. We got Team Fluid coming in on the card already. Looks like they're taking a little bit of damage. Lucio already got Discord over on him, but we have a little bit of action coming in from the point there. Farah does go down for Team Fluid, but looks like they're getting some solid pushes, and Mercy looks like she goes down as well for Team Fluid. So very good defense being held on here by Team B United, but it looks like they are going to fall off the top just a little bit here, fall back into position and get ready because the cart isn't being pushed currently. They actually have their Genji Chopper Gamer on their cart, really pushing it back. So we need looks like we need Team Fluid to, get back together a little bit. They lost the healer, they lost a huge DPS, and they want to come back in, and they are coming back in for that push. Here they go now. Going up top with their D.Va, clearing out the point very well, taking out Genji and taking out, looks like Orisa back there, but it looks like they're going to go ahead and push in here to the front here. Let's see who that's at. Soldier went down as well. And actually, Team Fluid is now putting it back together and getting on the point. The kills are going down. Tracer popped her bomb, but it's not going to do any damage, and we're really going to see this card probably push to the point. Looks like Team B United is going to fall back and go ahead and take that second point there. That was a quick first round, actually. Looks like we have Genji coming in, trying to do a little bit of damage, pull off the card just a little bit, but without his team support, he won't be able to hold it here. And that's the second point,
Yeah.
or the first point there goes. Well played.
Choppy Gamer, you know, in that first push, he kind of, you know, was playing a little aggressive. Maybe got a little greedy. You know, he is the highest SR in this event, but his greed kind of got to him as, you know, he wasn't there to fuel for his supports and the rest of his team. And, he ended up getting picked off when he really wanted him to stay alive. And two of his teammates were down in the spawn event. He was against it.
Yeah, his whole team was holding back there, but he wanted to go in and do a little bit more time on the card. It looks like Farrah pops her. Justice takes out 3 people, but huge res comes in from Mercy, and that's when the Genji comes in for his ultimate. There he goes, takes down the Mercy, going for the Gorilla as well. Can't quite take him down. Another Genji ult coming out from Choppy Gamer. Choppy Gamer is gonna try to clean up here. Goes for the Mercy. Mercy gets the kill on Mercy. Doesn't quite get the Tracer and does get taken out. But it looks like Team D United is finally gonna take this point and hold it very successfully. We need Team Fluid to come back with a strong push, and they're going to group up in the back here.
Oh, and we do have a person that did back out, so we are going to probably try to get a pause here.
Thank you.
Team, let me see if I remember there.
Yeah, we're going to try to get a pause here as one of the players did lag out, or... Oh, and it was Zarkloid. Yeah, Zarkloid was the previous.
So we already
he got
here in a second. Looks like we're just trying to figure out how to pause. In the meantime, Marissa's hanging out on the cart, dancing of all things. I think a dance party would be nice in the middle of this.
So we do have a pause here.
I got
Zarkloid disconnected. He was the party leader before, so not really sure who is right now, but.
Already have Team Fluid got that first point very effectively. They fell back when they lost their Mercy and their Orisa, or their Mercy and their Farrah in that first initial push. But then they kind of brought it back together, regrouped, and really took out that first point. Just very, very strong. And so I'm looking forward to seeing them. They might possibly have, if they can get their teammate back, they might possibly have somewhat of a role here. They only lost a little bit of time because of that pause. Do you know if that'll be accounted for?
They could restart if they really need to. I would think. Yeah, it's pretty early in the game, but it was against them, so like they did lose some time. But yeah, them not being able to pause kind of sucks. Zarkloid just got on, so I mean it's a little event, so I don't think that's too much to worry about. They still have 3.5 minutes pretty much to push. So I don't think they're out.
I think it took us about 10 seconds to get that pause going. So I mean, 10 seconds when you basically push the first point with almost no contestation is pretty good for them. I'm looking forward to actually seeing D United put together a very strong defense though in this second point, because this second point
playing Orisa too. Like Orisa's not really much in the meta at all. Neither of the anchor tanks is a Reinhardt either. You know, this usually opt for a Winston here, but. It could just be, you know, one of Bonsai's maybe more proficient heroes, and this is, you know, it's not like we're forcing people to play a certain style. And against an unorganized team, it's possible that it works out for them.
Oh man, because it would be so much fun to see the meta change a little bit. It looks like Tracer goes in for a bomb. Unfortunately, he doesn't get a whole lot of damage in, but it looks like Fluid's finally going to come into the back here and go ahead and start doing work on the point. They already take out the Orisa, going for the D.Va as well. We got Monkey on the medic. Can he get the medic? Not quite. Has to fall back there a little bit, but D.Va does get taken out of her mech. Gonna go in her baby form, and that's when Team Fluid's really going to hop in there and try to get the kills in. Going for the Mercy if they can. Take down the Mercy as well. Looks like Team D United really has to fall back here because we got Team Fluid coming in and crushing it. That looks like, oh, dang. We have Zenyatta and we have D.Va go down as well, and that's going to be another clean push on the point. The Rich is up top, but she's all alone. Only got a couple teammates with her, and so she's not going to get too much damage. And Soldier goes down to Genji. It looks like a Rich is going to hop down there as well and go down to the Monkey there. And it looks like we are going to get the point, but then a huge res comes in, trying to save that point. Orisa puts down her ult as well and get a lot of damage in on that point with Zenyatta coming in with the heals. So we might actually see a hold here, just barely, but Justice is raining from above from the Team Fluid. So they might have this point in the bag after all. And I gotta say, man, it looks like they just might have it. Orisa does go down on the point, and that's gonna be... Oh, that's gonna be the second point right
this she back there, you know, they burned 3 ults after the point was already taken. So they burned, you know, 3. I mean, maybe Bonsai wanted to use that ult so that Bonsai could switch to Winston, but the Mercy res was just a second late, understandable. But seeing Doppio using that Transcendence really didn't need it. And Indian Gamer got an excellent pulse on there, taking out 3 people with triple kill.
Looks like Team Fluid is really just holding it, just rolling right along, man. They're getting the kills they need to get, and Team D United just it doesn't have the coordination they quite need with their ults there. They are actually holding back very far. They need somebody to come out on the point because Team Fluid's gonna push it if they don't have anybody stop this point. D.Va's finally coming in, trying to do a little bit of damage, but it looks like it's a little too late. Team Fluid is still on the point. We just now have D United getting in there. They got a lot of time in there. All the ults are coming out. Genji's ult. Rambe comes out as well, and we're going to see a lot of damage on this point. D.Va coming in with a nuke, going to clear the points up a little bit for her team, and that's going to mean that Team D United can come in here and kind of clean up a little bit. But then Justice Rams from above. Huge play from Husky, getting a triple kill there, getting D.Va and her baby form as well. And that means Team Fluid is going to clean up here and finally get that last tap. Well played by Team Fluid there. They just rolled right through.
Yeah, and Aziz was so close to having a res to try to save the team. It would have been a 4-man res there had she had her ult available. And it was I think 2% away and close there. And I don't know. Like at first, you know, the first point push, you thought that D United, you know, might have had a great defense on that first point. They got a bunch of early picks, but the team didn't really stick together. There's a lot of times that they were running off alone, or you know, we saw it right before this final push here. Right after the second point was captured, 3 ults were burned that you know didn't really need to after the point was already gone. And it's plays like that that's going to cost you, you know, cost you the game and cost you possibly the series. You know, they still, you know, even if they don't make this, you know, they can still whip it out in the next 2 games, but you know, they got to get something clicking, and that defense was not working out for them. So we'll see what they change up going into this offense.
This might just be me, but whenever I notice a weaker team, like both these teams are kind of put together in a weird way because now the players know each other. So I've always noticed that teams that don't really communicate well or don't really know each other that well, for some reason, they always do better on offense and not so great on defense. So I'm actually expecting to see D United come back and pull out an amazing offense, just like we saw from Team Fluid. So I'm looking forward to seeing that happen here for Team D United. What kind of team comps do we have here really quickly there, Pimpin?
Yeah, we got Jolly Eevee actually going to be getting off the fair. We're going to be playing that Widow. Possibly getting a quick pick. I see he's already staring at Talon on that Reaper, so possible early snipe from Nolan. Talon decides to try to drop, but still can see him. Really going to try to get that headshot out on Talon, but Talon playing the Reaper now. Going to try to take care of the tanks as Bonsai did switch to Winston, so pretty normal dive coming from both teams.
We already have Tracer coming in here trying to do a little bit of damage with D.Va on top as well. Winston's going to hop in here as well, noticing Widowmaker in the background. He's going to try to get a little bit of damage on there. But Team D United currently on the cart, kind of a little bit scattered. They got scattered there by the Winston and by the by Talon as well. So they're not going to get quite as much pushing in there as they want to. But Winston does come out. Both shields come out for the Winston, so they're going to have a little bit of defense for both their teams. D.Va coming in here with the shield, taking up a lot of damage, but it looks like they're going to have to fall back. D United is going to push this cart a little bit closer, right under the bridge, and this is where the real defense kicks up here for Team Fluid. Team Fluid is all in on this point, and they already have a D.Va going down on the point as well. D.Va does have a health potion on her, so or a D health potion, I should say. So she does get taken out of her mech fairly quickly. It looks like Winston might go down here as well. One of the Winstons, Winston v. Winston on the point. But finally, it looks like Team D United's Winston does get taken down in the end. Team Fluid's Winston hops up and tries to push back the Genji upstairs. But really, it looks like Team Fluid's just going to hold this point pretty successfully.
Yeah, Jolly Eevee just getting not getting too much kills, but putting in enough damage that Winston can get that cleanup kill. You know, we've got that a lot of his Tesla cannon has a lot of splash damage with it, so the AoE there is great, especially when it can make someone one shot with a great hit. And Talon's doing pretty good Reaper.
Finally got Genji coming out with his ult on the point. Is he going to get any kills? He does get this talent. He does get Zark Lord, and that's going to be a very good ult there from Genji. That's going to mean that Team D United has a chance to move in here, but Diva's going to pop her ult on the point, try to clear it up, comes back in here and tries to do a little bit of damage, and that's... but it looks like we still got a lot of people from D United on the point, really doing some damage here. Let's take a look. Sorry, I had to look at the screen there for a second. Is going to hold this point after all. They had a Genji pick off 2 of their players, but they are still here and still doing damage. Talon comes in with a huge ult, followed by the Diva ult as well. That's going to clean up the point very well and allow them to get their team back on track. So Team Fluid holding up a huge defense, and that's when a huge res comes out from seeing Doppio. That was an awesome res, man, bringing their team right back into the fight there. And that's going to mean the whole cart is, back in D United's palms, I was gonna say, but Team Fluid cleaned it up once again. Well played there by Team Fluid.
Yeah, an issue is that there's no real peeling coming out from D United onto the support. So the supports are getting down pretty early, and Talon's been just doing the same thing over and over again. He's coming up to this ledge up top here and is dropping down, taking out supports or the Winston and popping right back out. So they're not really countering or take. The Diva really needs to be peeling for the Mercy, or they need to switch to maybe a Lucio just so they can speed through this choke here, because this choke is what's killing them, or find a different strategy to go.
Looks like both the support ults come out here, so we got Lucio and Zenyatta popping their ults. Winston's gonna go down, so is Zenyatta going to go down for Team Fluid, for Team D United. And really, they need those pushes. They need those supports to help them through the point. But it looks like Team Fluid is going to hold this defense fairly strong here. We actually have a Diva in the back, surprisingly enough. Winston v Diva on the point, or not a Diva, Pharah, my bad. Winston v Pharah on the point, but it looks like we're finally going to get a few more kills coming out of Team D United here. We got Genji coming in with a huge ult, takes out Talon, takes out Tracer as well, and they're finally going to get that push they so needed. Lucio is on the point. Can they take him out, because he is stopping the cart from moving fairly well here. He's a slippery guy, but he finally does get taken out, or at least gets away. Yeah, gets away from that fight and finally lets the cart move, and they just might get this first point if a nano boosted Winston doesn't come in. Gets put to sleep, but is going to put a lot of damage on that cart. Already taking out the Ana, possibly. Takes out the Ana. Well played. Looks like Talon goes down as well. And so far we see Team D United finally getting another push in here. Do you think they're going to get this push here?
I mean, they're doing their ults a lot better, having a lot better management here, but they're still letting their supports get taken down. So when they're trying to do this twice with no supports, it's a little bit of an issue there. Whether this is going down, I mean, they had a great push going in, but Diva's all coming on now, and there's really no one else on the point but Choppy, and Choppy's on, and there's no one now on the point. I mean, they had a great push in there. They couldn't really execute it. They were too busy getting distracted by that. I mean, Zarkwood on that Lucio was just jumping all around, so it's a bit of an issue when you have a Lucio jumping around and it's stalling like that. Especially since they still had a lot of time they needed to push that card. I mean, no one could take out Lucio, so that allowed Winston to get back in time, and unfortunately, they weren't able to get to that first point.
From Indian Gamer, go ahead. You're going to take out the Diva out of her mech. Puts the bomb on the soldier. Ooh, triple kill. That's an awesome bomb if I've ever seen one, man. And that is why they were cleaning up. They were getting those awesome ults in there and really just getting the pushes in.
Yeah, great stick by Indian Gamer.
Fluid,
Indian Gamer is actually the silver player on Team Fluid, so pretty great stick there from a lower level player. And I mean, when they're grouped up like that, it's not that it's not too hard to get a triple kill like that. But it was excellent timing to do that and allowed his team to get it even further push and help them win.
Door there, and she held him back with her ult. Very well played by Team Fluid there. Now we actually got once again, we got a new map coming up. What's the next map going to be in this case?
The next map is going to be Oasis.
This is a little bit of a different dynamic, because before we had Capture the Points, but this is more of a King of the Hill map, or it is a King of the Hill map, I should say.
Yeah, before we had an escort map, pushing the payload to a point, Yeah, now we're gonna be going to King of the Hill, so it will be, it could work in the benefit for Team United. Maybe just escort is in their thing. They looked like at the end they were starting to get the groove of things, so maybe coming into the this match, maybe they can work things out and then flip it to a game 3. I mean, anything's really can happen. It just really depends. And I think last week there was a reverse sweep, or on the last week in the EU series there was a reverse sweep in the matches. So I think they played like a best of 5 or something, and there was a reverse sweep, and they were able to come back. So it's not impossible for D United to do so. They definitely have some talent there that can do it. You saw Choppy Gamer there at the end had a great Dragon Blade, and took out four players, and the rest of his team was in there. Jolly Eevee was doing fairly decent before on Pharah. I think the surrounding team had some issues that they needed to work together, and then he was doing good on Widow with Winston Bonsai being able to clean up those kills, but it wasn't effective enough. And I mean, Oasis it's a different style map. I'm not sure if they're waiting on us, but we are ready.
Like Talon's just gonna be right back. In the meantime, I gotta say, a couple people who caught my eye. Obviously, Indian Gamer with that play of the game, but Talon as well. He was in the groove. In a lot of games, when you find your groove and you just can keep milking the same move over and over again, it'll get you a lot of kills. And that's what Talon was doing. He was just going upstairs, jumping down on the supports, killing the supports, and getting out of the fight. And so one guy to keep an eye on in the next game is going to be Talon once again. Didn't tell us he's back. All right, good deal. Yeah, we do have Oasis here. A pretty stellar map for King of the Hill. I do like Oasis a lot. We got a little bit of high ground, so whoever controls that high ground does control a lot of the map in this case.
Yeah, it looks like we will be starting here off.
I'm back in the fight.
I forgot what the name of this one is. I don't think this one's University. Do you happen to know which map this one is of Oasis? Someone in
Oasis.
chat will probably. Well, it's Oasis, but there's like each map of these King of the Hill maps has its own name. Happen to forget this one though because it's kind of newer. It is the newest King of the Hill map, but and it's the launch pad map. Let's just say that. Okay, we're on launch pad.
I'm looking forward to some launchpad fights, man. Whoever controls the launchpad wins the game. And we already do have Team Fluid coming in here. I believe I have my name switched up, actually. But we do already have Team Fluid coming in here very quickly, getting to the point. And they actually took the launchpad as quickly as they could. We have a Fair and a Mercy up top as well for Team D United. But it looks like we have just a hodgepodge going on the point. Team Fluid getting together and actually going to probably take out this D.Va. D.Va does manage to get away just barely, but it looks like Team D United is really going to have to fall back here. Mercy is in the battlefield. She might get taken out. D.Va taking a lot of damage from this Winston here. She's finally going to have to zoom out of there, getting the Tracer in her back as well, and she's finally going to fall back. It looks like Team D United, when the Roadhog went down, they kind of just had to fall back, and D.Va was caught unawares and finally gets taken out.
Yeah, I mean, Team Fluid, they were down Husky in the beginning of that fight, but we had Indian Gamer come in there and clean up some kills with the help of Arrow, as Arrow's nearly at his ultimate already at 92%, the highest ult percentage right now in the series. And Bonsai actually made a switch off of Winston's going to be on there easier now to try to deal with Arrow.
For actually coming in here pretty strong, going for Arrow as quickly as he can, but has to fall back because we have a Lucio and we have a Genji on the point here. Winston could hop in. Arrow doing a little bit of damage, does take out the Genji, or does take out the Reaper, but has to fall back there. But it looks like Fluid. Oh, huge Genji sword coming out of Talon here. Dragon Blade going in for the D.Va. Can he get the D.Va? Not quite. Goes in for the Soldier though, and does get the Soldier. Very well played there and well placed Dragon Blade. But we finally have D.Va coming out on the point, popping her ult. Nobody's going to get taken out by that D.Va ult, and it looks like Team Fluid is really going to hold this point very decisively.
Yeah, I mean, they're running issues for the first game. They're going in alone. They're not really, sticking together. They have one tank right now. It's definitely not something I think will be working that great. Choppy is able to get Indian Gamer down, and now they're going to try to get on this high ground.
And they do jump on the high ground. D.Va coming in versus Winston, but Winston's actually guarding the gate. Notices a Mercy who's a little out of place, possibly gonna take down the Mercy. Mercy does get a res though, and that's gonna be just a res on Lucio. I think it was a single man res, but she deemed it essential, I guess. It might have been a fat Q button. But either way, we do have Winston really holding down this high ground. Does have to fall back though because he doesn't have a whole lot of support. And we finally have D United coming here and cleaning up a little bit. Winston's in a little bit of trouble, has to pop his Primal Rage just to stay alive, but he's not going to have a lot of teammates to support him. Husky's in the air, and we finally have the two supports coming in as well. And that's when Jolly Eve pops her ult. Does take down the Mercy for Team Fluid, so that's going to be a lot of heals gone from them. But their team's brigade has finally come back. We do have Choppy Gamer coming in, taking down Husky, taking down Arrow, and Talon finally taking down Choppy Game, ending his reign. And it looks like Team D United's finally going to get together and take this point. 99% they need to take it now.
Yeah, and it looks like there's a fair amount of ults to be used from both sides. We do have Bonsai finally going to be getting that Death Blossom coming up, and this has that res, one of the more powerful ults in the game that can, you know, save this team. They're definitely, I think, going to need it. Zarkla just taken out by Jolly. You know, some little pot shots coming out through the doorways are dangerous, and Talon close to getting that ultimate. So he's trying to throw some shurikens in. Try to get some more charge.
It'll be interesting to finally see Team Fluid on the back foot and trying to figure out how they want to approach this. They do come in with a Fair and Mercy up top. Winston's gonna go in on the bottom. Fair and Mercy coming in here trying to do a lot of damage on the point, but it looks like nobody's died just quite yet. Mercy goes down. Jolly Eve goes down as well. And a huge ult is popped there by Bonsai and by Husky here, but it looks like we finally get a small res coming in from Galax just to keep her Winston alive. And it looks like we might have D.Va coming in here and trying to nerf the point as well, but it doesn't quite get any kills. Everyone gets to cover very quickly, and it looks like D.Va's gonna get taken down here fairly soon. Mech body goes down, squishy body goes down, and that's gonna be the point back to Team Fluid. Mercy comes in here and, ooh, nice res, gets the D.Va, but it might not be enough. A D.Va alone, but she does have the team behind her, so this may be enough for the point. Tracer B, just a hosh-posh going on. Winston finally gonna go for the D.Va on the point. D.Va does get taken out of her mech once again, and she's gonna get taken down here. It looks like slowly but surely the entirety of Team D United is gonna fall down, and that's gonna be the game to Team Fluid. Well played.
Yeah, for a second, I mean, I thought as you know, would have popped the res earlier, but, you know, getting taken out is really unfortunate when you really need to use that at that time. Talon, you know, with the help of Arrow, we were able to take out Soldier and Bonsai, and that was nearly a perfect time to try to use that res if it was possible, but unfortunately, was only able to get the D.Va, and that's not really the res you want. We already be going now to University. I know this one's name is University, so so this one is University, and we are having Chopper now going to be on the it's going to be on a McCree, so they're still going to be running triple DPS. Actually, both sides are running triple DPS. I failed to notice that.
We do have Team Fluid coming here, taking the high ground fairly quickly here, and because they control the high ground, they can engage whenever they feel like it. Finally, Winston hops in, notices Zenyatta is a little out of place. Go in for that Zenyatta kill, gets that nice Zenyatta kill. That's a huge support down there. D.Va and McCree are on the point along with Lucio and Tracer, but they may not get too much done here. Talon finally taken down to Lucio. It looks like Reaper might go down here too, Winston as well. I gotta say, Arrow's putting in a lot of damage on this point. D.Va doesn't go down, gets into a squishy body, trying to get out of there. Does have a healing orb on her, but she, nope, doesn't get it. Lucio takes her out in the end there and falls back with his teammates. Team Fluid just dominating this match and showing real strength. I gotta put it, especially to Arrow as well. He's just making the picks that he needs to make.
Yeah, and he's putting out that damage. You know, doing what Winston does best, you know, putting high damage to, you know, lower targets. And then the Genji's easily able to just dash in there and get the killing blow there. But that's 2 going to be down now. Indian Gamer's on his way back. Nobody that can get there fast. Jolly EV goes in for the Mercy do. Unfortunately, Talon takes out Choppy Gamer and Aziz. Aziz. I keep saying it wrong. It's Aziz.
do finally have Team D United coming in here, getting a few good picks, but not able to clean it up. We have Team Fluid coming back in there. Nice res just to get the Genji back up, just to get a little more damage back on the point. And Team Fluid is going to hold this point. They held out pretty well there. Team D United almost had a chance to get in there, but they did not capitalize. And it looks like Team Fluid once again is going to hold this pretty solidly. They only got about 39 points to go, so we really need Team D United to get together and make an effective push.
Yeah, and I mean, this seems just, you know, there's still a lot of issues that, you know, they're not taking together. There's no peeling for the supports. Like, Winston comes in there, and there's no one really there to help out. And then when the Tracer and Genji comes to it becomes a big issue for them.
And his ult on the point. Reaper pops his ult as well. Gonna get a kill on the Lucio, but not much else. We do have the point finally coming in. D United coming in from the left-hand side there. Winston hops in, trying to give a little bit of damage. Possibly getting the D.Va out of his mech, but he notices that, ooh, had like 4 people on him, had to get taken out. And finally, D United coming in here and getting the point. We have Indian Gamer doing a lot of damage. Does get the Reaper, or does get Lucio with her ult, but she's gonna get taken out by herself as well, I think. And we finally do have D United on the point, but they couldn't quite clean it up. And Team Fluid is back once again. We have a Mercy and a D.Va on the point. Winston's going to hop in the top as well, try to do a little bit of damage. Zenyatta does pop his ult to keep D United alive, but for how long? Winston hops in the hole as McCree pops his ult. Copy Gamer going for a kill if he can get one. Doesn't look like he gets a kill from that ult. And we finally have the point switch. I didn't even notice it switched there, but it did switch to Team D United, and that's going to be a good thing. We have the res coming out from Galax. That's going to bring back the D.Va for Team Fluid. But it looks like it's really just a hosh-posh on the point. We have Talon taking out Choppy Gamer, Zarkular taking out Emily, and that's going to be 2 people down. 2 people down for D United. So Team Fluid's finally going to take this point back. At 99%, they need somebody. D United needs somebody to get in this point. Reaper coming in, Lucio coming in, Zenyatta coming in, but with that nerf, with that huge bomb coming from D.Va, it may not be enough. Reaper comes in and gets his ult out, does take out Lucio, but it's not going to quite clean up the point there. They're all going in one by one now, pimping. What is it? They have nothing else to do, I don't think.
Yeah, they're on that last shot. D.Va tried to struggle to get in there, but unfortunately was unable to. And I mean, it's hard to say because you have Choppy Gamer, you know, making that choice to go with the McCree to try to counter the you know, maybe the Genji or possibly Indian Gamer on the Tracer, but with that, there's still no one that you're really taking out the Winston and protecting the healer.
Yeah.
So maybe they did make a switch to Lucio. I think maybe going with Lucio will help. You know, they can speed boost the supports away from Winston. That's usually a good choice to use Lucio for that. But now we're going to be going to Garden here, and we're going to have D United going with the same comp that they've been running. I think this whole series, or at least this whole map. But we do have some switching up for on the side of D United. Seeing Doppio is now going to be on the soldier, while Jolly's going to be on the Zenyatta.
We already had a Mercy go down for Team Fluid. I feel like some good Ana action. I like to see some good sleeps going in there on the point. We already have Team Fluid taking the point very strongly there. They actually had their Mercy go down just immediately when they got to the point, but the rest of the team held up pretty well. Arrow doing a lot of damage on the point, and Benzati, Benzaituna, I think is how you say your name, already went down, so that's gonna be some much needed heals gone from Team D United there. Winston coming down the point, but looks like Aziz just does not want to fight Arrow, and Arrow is coming in once again. Gonna take him out, going for the D.Va as well if he can. Winston, I gotta say, Arrow in my book is just doing a lot of damage, and that's what Winstons do. They come in here and they trickle down on you, and you know, if you're a squishy class, it's too much. If you're a big class,
yeah,
well,
you have Talon on the Genji just getting in there and dashing at the time.
So they're just executing the dive very effectively here. We do have Genji finally going down. It looks like Arrow's in a tight spot as well. Does go into his rage mode, going in there for possibly just anybody just trying to push the team back here, but he can't do too much damage in rage. It is going to get on the point just to fight the enemy Winston as well. We finally have D United seize their opening and coming in here a little bit. Winston does go down. But Choppy Gamers does go down. The ult comes out, but it's too late from Zenyatta, and he's got to fall back because Diva is the only one left on the point for D United. Once again, they just failed to really get in there and cleanse, clear the team, and Team Fluid is back on the point.
Yeah, Choppy Gamer's actually been doing a great job, countering, Genji and Tracer. I think he's killed Tracer nearly every time Tracer's been alive. So he's doing a good job to counter any game, which is what you want your McCree to do. But the Winston's still becoming a big issue for this team, and they're not playing. They're trying to play a little bit of I feel like a reactive dive at first, but hasn't worked out for them. Ziz does get that power up.
Coming in and breaking it down for his team as well. Dragon Blade from Genji takes out both the, I think it took out the Ana and took out the McCree as well. Seeing Dupio also takes out the, tactical visor, but that's when we get the res coming in from Galix. So we have Team Fluid just staying on the point, staying together. Zenyatta goes down on the point to Arrow once again as well. And really, they're going to hold this point and keep it. That's going to be the end of the game. What a dominating team. Team Fluid is going to be tough to handle.
See who's Husky gonna get play here in this. Actually, I remember this one, but looks like it would be a good one. As gets the environmental kill, it definitely helps with that. But now it's gonna all one, and could have been possibly another one, but that environmental kill really send them off for that play.
Yeah.
And look at that, all the cards are gonna be going on the side of Team Fluid. So congrats to Team Fluid. And we will be seeing up next will be Bro going up against D United. So that will be our next game. And let's try to get these lobbies all ready as we'll take a little short break here as we get these lobbies set up. So stay tuned and thanks for watching. We'll be back with Brogue going up against D United. Hello, and we are back. As I stated before, we will be having D United go up against Brogue after D United just suffered a hard loss there on getting 3-0'd on both Dorado and on Oasis. So tough loss for D United, but they're not out of it yet. They're going to be going up against Brogue right now. Brogue actually was able to get a little bit of practice in, though, while they were waiting for this game to be played. We saw most of the team except for one over there in a quick play match. So hopefully, maybe they got a little chemistry. So both teams had, at least some time to play together before they're playing right now. And we will be seeing Route 66 first, and then we will be seeing Lijiang Tower, and if needed, we will be seeing Volskaya. So I know one team's ready. It's going to be D United that is ready, and maybe let's have them change the names in there so that it'll help us a little bit.
Yeah, sure thing. What I'm hoping is that D United doesn't take those losses that they just had. It doesn't take them to heart, because they still have a pretty good chance against this other team. There's no telling what kind of chemistry Brogue has,
yeah,
and
or the character compositions, because that's one thing that happens with these events is sometimes teams get stuck with more similar players at once. I think there was one time where a team had a bunch of DPS mains, so it was they played Soldier and Genji, and it was just a majority of the team who were like that. So it could be possible, maybe this one team is maybe Brogue is like this, or maybe that could be the case with D United. That maybe many of them were support mains or tank mains or something that they don't usually play that often. So
mindset. I'm just hoping that the mindset is still strong with D United, and they're still going in there, thinking we want to win this. Not going in there thinking, man, we just lost 3-0 in 2 games. That's not the point. This is a brand new game, and I really want to see them, take it out here. You said Route 66 is the first map, right?
Yeah, Route 66 is the first map, followed by Lijiang Tower.
Put these maps home, man. Especially because I would love to see. What would be cool is if they got that. If they came back as a new team, take out Brogue, and then possibly take out Team Fluid there. But Fluid's sitting on top right now, so it's going to be interesting to see who finally comes out in the end.
Yeah. So if we do have D United here failing to win these maps, and they're definitely going to need to get a 2-0, and likely they'll need to get both their games to be 3-0 to really have a shot at winning in some sort of tiebreaker. If there was a magical tiebreaker at the end, they need this to happen. I mean, it is for fun, but pink names are on the line, okay? So that is the thing.
It looks like we got some interesting setups coming in here. Actually, from D United, we have a Junkrat on the defense, so it's going to be kind of interesting to see how they play around that. Jolly Edie's going for the Junkrat play, so that's a lot of DPS, but it's not quite in the meta, so it's going to be interesting to see how they incorporate him into the team. 2 tanks as well, Orisa and we got Reinhardt, both with those shields, so they're never gonna have no shields, hopefully, on this map.
Should have cleaned up the deadlock.
Yeah, and one thing is that I'm not sure if you knew about this, but Team South Korea has actually been using Junkrat a bit in their comms to kind of counter dive. So and McCree as well, but Choppy Game actually got off McCree and is now going to be on Soldier. But there has actually been Junkrat being used by teams to try to counter dive, which you kind of have a dive coming in by Brogue, as Brogue's going to be, running. The only thing different is going to be running a Zarya instead of a Winston, and Cement already getting taken out on Tracer by the Junkrat, so a good start for D United.
On the point though, gonna get pushing in here, but we do have D United on the top, holding that area very well. Diva's gonna come in here, try to do a little bit of damage on the Orisa, but Orisa does push her back fairly well, and Genji's on the roof trying to do some damage, but he has a Disco Orb on him, so he might not be able to get that damage in that he needs. Has to fall back with his team. But on the other side, we have D United, or yeah, we have Rogue coming in here and really pushing the cart. D United now doesn't quite have the manpower they need on the top of that roof. They can actually rotate back down in the bottom here. Pinata does go down. Mercy does go down. Reinhardt does go down. Oh, Orisa does go down. That's a lot of kills there from Team Brogue, and Brogue is finally going to push this cart to the second point. Well played there. Brogue just pulling it out in the end and really just decisively controlling that area. The minute that D United fell down into the bottom areas is when they got picked off.
Yeah, and I mean, we do have Bonds, I know, switching off the Orisa and now they're playing the Winston, you know. Maybe they'll switch off this, and now they'll be still playing that Junkrat. It's really close to ult, but it is like one of the weakest ults in the game, so we'll see if it will actually have any effect. And it is available now, so we'll see if it does happen to come out.
D.Va coming in here with her ult already, gonna take down the Zenyatta. Does get the Mercy as well. That's 2 supports down for D United. They just couldn't find a way to get out of the way of D.Va, and that's going to mean that Rogue once again is able to push this cart fairly well. Winston hops in, does take down the D.Va from a mech, gets her squishy body as well. So even without their supports, D United actually held up pretty well there and stayed together on the point. We're going to have Rogue in a second regrouping and trying to figure out exactly how they want to take this point. Genji's already coming in and doing a little bit of damage on the Winston if he can. Tracer and Genji take out the Winston. Well played. That's like the two counters taking out the one counter. But anyway, we do have Dragon Blade coming out. Going to go for the Mercy. He takes out the Mercy. Going for the 2 weak bodies in the back. Going for McCree and possibly Zenyatta. And that's when Zenyatta pops his ult on the point. Going to get a lot of heals in for D United there, but finally gonna actually fall back in the fall in the back area, get hammered down, and might actually have a little bit of a split here coming in from D United. Winston coming in here trying to do a lot of damage on Zarya and on D.Va, but it looks like he's kind of alone. Mercy comes in with a nice res though there for Team D United. But at the same time, it looks like Rogue is still on this point and holding it strong and finally going to get that push in when Reinhardt goes down.
Yeah, and you're seeing it here again. D United, you know, they're not really sticking together. The healers aren't sticking with the tanks or vice versa. And Reinhardt had an Earthshire there that really could have been, you know, saved a little bit, as we did have Aziz have ult available and did get the res, but the ultimate was already used, and no one, you know, there was 3 people down with the Earthshatter, but no follow-up there. So like the team's communication's a bit lacking there. Is, you know, they have the opportunities to make great decisions, but in the end they're just failing to capitalize on them.
And taken down very quickly here, and so that means that D United might have a good defense in their pocket right now. Go ahead and actually hold a very forward defense here on the point. Winston gonna come in and try to do a little bit of damage on Zenyatta. Bomb goes out from Tracer, doesn't quite get anybody just yet. Healing potion for Team D United though, and Zarya Zarya comes in here with her ult and gonna get a huge D.Va ult as well. 4K. That was the perfect ult from Zarya and from D.Va. Very well. Now they just got to push the cart. Tracer is holding the cart back though, so she's going to be able to hold a few seconds while her teammates get back on track. They need to kill that Tracer and get the cart rolling. Tracer does go down. Anna does go down too. And we have Genji happening here on the point. Dies once again very quickly. But that means that Rogue is going to take this point, or is going to push this cart very far. D United has to get their defense back up and on track.
Decent defense coming out here, and Choppy Gamer's has been doing an excellent job on McCree actually, both the last game and this game actually. So there he is right there, taking out Cement. He's been dealing with the Tracer, dealing with the Genji. He's killed Lafon 2 times in a row, and there he is taking out Zarya as well. So he's been doing a pretty great job on the McCree. And now we have Jolly Evie actually opting to play the Hanzo. Interesting choice there.
I actually think that Hanzo might be a good mix with Choppy Gamer. If they can capitalize on how much Choppy Gamer can see with those sight arrows from Hanzo, then it might really pay off here. We do have Genji coming in from the background. Gonna have a Discord Rover on him already, so he's gonna have to fall back. Zenyatta does pop his ult for Brogue, just trying to keep his team alive on the point because they all have the non-healing potion from Ana. Winston's gonna go into his primal rage and do a lot of damage, really pushing people off the cart. And really hammered down coming in from Reinhardt as well, but no cleanup. Oh man, that's 3 people down and nobody to take them down. Once again, even though they really still have the defense going, D United could have capitalized on that hammer down and just didn't have anybody to follow up. Rogue's going to stay on this point and really just try to figure out exactly when they want to come in and push, but they're going to have a strong push when they do because they have everybody online already. D.Va gets back in her mech, and that's going to mean she's going to come in here and do her ult. Zenyatta's going to negate it completely, though. Doesn't really get a kill, but does create an opening for her team, and that's when the nice Hanzo ult comes out and really kind of keeps everyone off the cart. They're really just trying to figure out a way they can push in, but no deaths, surprisingly, from either side so far, and somebody needs to go down.
Yeah, before that fight, you know, there was Choppy Gamer was able to take out Lafon and Cement again. You know, just he's been peeling a lot this game for you know, taking care of those flankers that he really needs to go. But Cement finally gets revenge and he's able to get a pulse onto Choppy Gamer.
We do have a Winston with a nano boost coming in, but Reinhardt, that's gonna be negated by Zenyatta fairly well. Winston does go into his primal rage though, so he's gonna push people off the point. We actually had D.Va asleep, but I think the full time. Genji coming in here as well, and that's when the huge Zarya ult comes out. But everybody's already cleaned up. In fact, I don't think they even needed those ults because in the end, that's gonna be the game. Wow, well played there by Brogue. Very good pushes.
I mean, D United are starting to get a bit of a defense. They were doing a great job when the enemy team, when Brogue was trying to do flank routes. They were able to, you know, take care of that, and then it allowed that their front line was able to not get overwhelmed, and as well as their healers and stuff. So it was great work by them doing just what with taking care of those flankers, because that's a big thing with dive is those flankers. You know, taking out your support's a big issue, and I think them not going against a Winston was helping them out quite a bit, because Zarya, you know, can't really jump in there and do all that damage, so that's all Tracer and Genji had to do. But we do have interesting comp. I don't think it's real, but it might be coming out. And we actually do have it coming out. So very interesting comp coming out from Brogue. As they all just gonna
they all suicided.
So it's all just a joke. They're not really gonna do that. It would have been cool.
Oh, it was almost a dream. It would have been awesome, man. It was almost a dream. I wanted to see that comp, but even they didn't want to do that.
They're gonna go with a pretty standard dive comp, I'd say. One of the main 3, I'd say. Well, probably the second most popular dive comp. But possible. I think that's fake as well. No attack that we have. Choppy Gamer's gonna be back on the Genji though, and Banze is actually on the tree, so a little interesting in Roadhog. We haven't seen Roadhog today, and Roadhog's been quite a bit out of the meta with his nerfs, but he's trying to get some hooks in.
Yeah, actually on top there, going for a fight against the D.Va. They're going to push this card around to the gas station, but that's when the real fight's going to happen. D.Va and Winston already actually on the point. Tracer comes in here and tries to do a little bit of damage, but has to fall back. And slowly but surely, we have D United getting a little bit of a push in here. Brogue's going to put up quite a defense, though, now. Both Winston and D.Va and Lucio on the point, keeping it back. Reinhardt does go down for the D United, and we also have goes down as well. And so D United really has to fall back and figure out exactly how they want to push once again. Roadhog trying to come in here, tries to get a hook on Lucio, doesn't quite get it. Winston actually jumping again, but does get put to sleep fairly quickly and taken out. Winston is a strong point of Brogue's team, so that might be the chance that D United needed. They're going to come in here and try to do a little bit of a push on the D.Va, going for the D.Va if they can. D.Va does have to fall back, has a Disco Orb on her, and finally D United's going to get that push they were looking for.
Yeah, Bonsai is doing actually pretty good on a considering the hero pool that Bonsai's been playing, but their push is going to be halted actually by Primes. Taking out 2, and now we have Nano Ride coming out.
And a Ride coming out on the point. He already goes ahead and takes D.Va out of her mech position, but has to zoom out of there because there's way too much damage coming on the point. Team Brogue really holding a very strong defense. When they get their team together, they are unstoppable, and we need D United to somehow penetrate in there and really capitalize on any moves they make. Reinhardt coming in here, hopefully gonna take it up a lot of damage, but they can't quite find a way in yet. Jolly Eve in the corner trying to get a hook, misses the hook on Cement and on Lucio. Unfortunately, that's gonna mean he's gonna miss his pushes. Winston coming in with his Primal Rage is gonna make the Zenyatta pop and actually have Jolly Eve popping on the point as well. But for the most part, the defense is still going strong. Genji gonna come in here and finally hopefully get some kills. Can't say he does. In the end, we have the defense coming out with their Zenyatta, who heals up everybody fairly well. Do have a Tactical Visor coming out, gonna take out the McCree, but we finally get a hammer down coming in from D United. That's going to be their time to push. Jolly Eve on the point along with Anna. Anna gets a nice sweep on Tracer before she gets taken down. Winston on the point though, and so Brogue giving a couple inches, but holding it for a long time. Brogue doing really well in this defense, and we need D United to find a way inside.
We've actually been getting quite a bit of hooks here. You know, got a hook on the Soldier, got a hook on the Tracer earlier, but the rest of the team still, you know, dealing with Brogue and having issues.
On Reinhardt for Team D United, but unfortunately it doesn't get that many kills. Deadeye does get Zenyatta though, so that's going to mean that Brogue does not have as much support as they may need. Winston coming in here and immediately gets taken down. He was just demolished. We have Jolly Eve actually popping his ult, pushing people back off the point. That's going to mean that D United finally has a chance to push. Nice hook from Jolly Eve, takes out the Soldier there, but we still have a D.Va on top of the cart, and she's going to be holding it back as long as she can. Lucio and Tracer coming in here to keep it alive, as well as the Zenyatta, so they may be able to keep this point, but we do not have any tanks with them currently until Winston hops in from the top. Going to come in here, take out the Reinhardt fairly quickly, possibly take out... Tracer's bomb goes down, takes out the Roadhog, and takes out McCree, so it looks like finally we're going to see possibly... No, we're going to see... Brogue actually hold this point very decisively. The only people left are Winston and Zen. Tracer coming in and trying to do a little bit of damage, but she's not going to be able to make it all on her own. Up and holding that point. Overtime is over, and that's the game. Well played by Brogue. Well played.
Yeah, I mean, they were so close to getting to that point multiple times, and here comes Brogue coming in, the Tracer, and Lucio just stalling just to wait for the team to get in, and then once Winston comes in, it's bad news for D United, as the Winston was a big problem for them in the previous series. So
Play of the match.
Here comes
Playing with the game here from Prime. Let's take a look. Gonna go in here probably with their ult. Gets a little bit of a shield up, holding a lot of damage, and that was the play of the game. Huge Zarya ult along with the D.Va ult, creating a 4K on the point. Well played there by Team Brogue. They really just, I gotta say, that was the biggest point in the game for sure. That coordination was just amazing.
Yeah, now that we are done with Route 66, we will be going over to Lijiang Tower, and if needed, we will be seeing Volskaya. So, I don't know, maybe we can see D United pull something out on King of the Hill. They kind of were doing a bit better on King of the Hill last series against Team Fluid, but Brogue really coming out of the wetworks here, and once again
Now arriving at Lijiang,
causing D United to get fully held on a escort map. They were running that dive comp that we've been seeing.
select your hero.
I mean, pretty much everyone runs it, but they got ran against D United by Team Fluid, and it's a big weakness for D United. They're dealing with those flankers, and as well as Winston. It's a big issue for them. And I mean, maybe they can counter it. I see that they are. I do see that one of their players is going to be on Sombra, so maybe it's the counter that they need. Sombra has been a bit of a counter forward dive, but not as much on control. Usually you see Sombra on a 2CP map, and sometimes even on hybrid maps, but not as much on control. So let's see if they can take advantage of her on this map and try to counter this dive.
And we almost had fun on the Genji, but he switches back. Oh, we almost had him on the Junkrat, but he switches back to a Genji. Already have the point going for both teams. Have a Lucio, so we're going to see them get to this point very quickly here. But we do have Brogue coming in here very fast. Genji already on the point and doing, or not on the point, but doing a little bit of damage. D.Va on the point very well, but she does get pushed back by Zarya and Lucio. Zenyatta does take, or Genji does take out Zenyatta, his former master. So, and it looks like D.Va's going to go get out her mech from Tracer as well. So Team Rogue really cleaning up. And actually, look, we can actually see that Team B United is in a corner now. Genji's going to come in, a huge ult from LaFon already. Oh my gosh. That was insanely quick from LaFon, but he's going to clean up and really dominate, or really solidify this cap for Team Rogue.
Yeah, the rate that LaFon got his ult is every Genji's dream. He was hitting a bunch of headshots, and he had a huge deflect that got on most of his charge. And he got that as, you know what, I might as well use it now. It's early enough in the game. There's no point in hold on to it this early. And he was able to, push them back. And, now they're going to be approaching 25% fairly soon. And they're not playing on the point of a good strategy. I think playing on the point here is sometimes not as great, but I mean, there is a 2v2 on the point now with both flankers against the Roadhog.
I say it looked like D United got cornered there, but they might have a chance on the point now. Gonna clean up the Zarya, clean out the D.Va as well. LaFon does get the kill on the Roadhog though, and finally gonna come in and with Tracer, but Tracer gonna get taken down. Just D.Va versus Genji on the point. Who's gonna take it? Mercy does come in. Knight gets a nice res. That's gonna mean her team is back in the game, but that's when Genji comes in. Comes in with his sword, taking out the Hanzo, possibly taking out this Mercy if he can as well. Can he get the Mercy? Doesn't quite get the Mercy, but D United is finally on the point, doing a little bit of damage here, but not enough because we have Team Rogue coming in and finally holding that defense once again. If they had capitalized on the time they had on the point, then they would have possibly made it, but Team Rogue got right back together on the defense and were able to hold that point.
We do have a player that did leave.
Oh man.
Yeah, it looks like it was Jolly Evie who did back out of there. And Jolly Evie was the party leader from before, so not sure what's going on here. We are getting a pause. Right before that, Emil X32 Knight did boost off the map trying to chase Genji. It looked like trying to actually save the Mercy, but ended up falling off the map, which would have been crucial if she would have stayed alive to be able to assist their team, as they were so close to capturing that point, and now they're at 84%, and there's so many ults on the side of Brogue that it's going to be hard for D United to try to get this back with only having Aziz's ult.
I gotta say, we actually have Nub coming in with her ult as well, so we might see a little bit of a Zarya Tracer combo possibly, because Genji's a long way away from his ult. Prime and Zarya might be a good ult combo too. We've already seen that one in the last game, so they might pull that one out again. But we really do see we don't have a lot of time for D United, so it's gonna be a very what's the word? It's gonna be a very push. They have to get this push in if they want to make it. And if they can't get this one push, they only got time for one push. If they can't make that, that's going to be difficult. And if they need a sub, or this pause may actually work not in their, not be in their favor. So I'm hoping that D United can pull it together for one last push after this pause.
So it is looking like they might need a sub here. So let's see if we can maybe get one in. If not, I mean, at this point, it's not likely that that D United will be able to win in the end, because they would. I don't think with the math of the last game, and they've already losing one map, that um, it's not as likely that they could win in a tiebreaker, but it really depends the result of Brogue versus Team Fluid after this. But yeah, I might be away from the mic, but okay, my mic too quiet. Okay, oh, I see, because my mic got reset, so that's probably why. It always seems to happen.
Oh no, man! Don't count D United out yet. I always love an underdog. So if they can pull it out, that'd just be the best game ever. I would just be so happy to see them pull it out of nowhere, come back, at least get the point. I would love that. But I do gotta say, with the start that Brogue has had, especially on this map, it's looking rough, man. It's looking rough. And I gotta say, LaFon was just, I don't know what happened, but he got an ult literally and just popped it. D United was in a corner. They'd already lost 2 people, and they were kind of caught in a corner because we had people on the point, and we had people coming from the left-hand side. And so when LaFon popped that ult, they really had nowhere to go, man. And so it was just awesome to see that play. But, like I said, man, I would love to see a comeback from D United. Just any comeback. That would be awesome for me.
Yeah, and I mean, and maybe not in this map right here, but maybe maybe the rest of the map they can. This is a best of 5 here. It is competitive settings, so they could possibly whip something out, depending on their sub. Maybe their sub allows them to connect, but
yeah, we are going to take a little bit of time to get this sub going. In the meantime, what do you think some of the biggest plays you've seen so far from either of the matches that we've had going on there, Pimp?
Can you repeat that? Sorry, I was reading the Discord so that we can try to find a sub.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah, you go ahead and do that. I'm going to talk about some of my favorite fights that I've seen so far, some of the favorite moments that I've seen in the game so far. And I got to say, when we had Zarya and D.Va come in and just use it all together, that was so perfect, man. I mean, really just seeing that kind of coordination from a team that's basically hosh-posh together. These guys may have not even known each other until this very game. And just seeing that kind of coordination from the Zarya and from the D.Va is really what you want to see, especially in games like these. I wish we'd seen that from D United because they've gotten some very good points where they could have maximized on that and gotten a lot of kills. Or Reinhardt especially, but when they had a Reinhardt on the last map, I believe it was. Yeah, he got quite a few hammer downs that were like three-man stuns, and yet we did not see anybody able to capitalize on those.
Yeah,
and so I was hoping somebody would come in.
Happened quite a bit, yeah. And it was both actually on the same point, I believe. There was like right one after another on both of his Earth Shatters. There was no follow-up, but I mean, with that, you did have Bonsai and Choppy Gamer who were kind of in the background, just kind of taking care of the flankers. They kept taking out LaFon and Cement, and then the one time that LaFon and Cement didn't decide to flank around, decided to push with their team, then they were able to overcome the defense of D United. And on the flip side of that, I mean, even in like the first point, you had Choppy Gamer dealing with a bunch with LaFon. I mean, he had an eye out for LaFon, and in the game before, he kept taking out Indian Gamer on that Tracer. So I mean, making that switch to McCree was helping out a lot for him. But I'm not sure where this really lies with it. I mean, the team's just really not clicking together. There's something that's
not quite right.
It looks like we are going to be getting Zambam to fill for Jolly Eevee. Zambam's pretty similar in SR, I believe, which would be like the high platinum. So we'll be getting Zambam in here hopefully shortly. He said he agreed it'd be for. I mean, we still got this whole map and plus possible another map. And after that, we will be seeing Brogue going up against Team Fluid for what would be the championship. So let's see what happens. See if Bro can finish us out, or let's see if the United can, with this new sub, can turn things around here.
If we see a turnaround, what was the new guy then?
New guy is gonna be Zambam. He's gonna be playing on his alt account. This will be Dr. Zambam. So let's see if they can.
That's a name. That's a comeback name if I've ever heard one, man.
Yeah. Yeah, give him the old Zambam. And let's see if they do it. But we're still in this pause. We're waiting for him to get on. They just added him, or they just got his battle tag, so we will be seeing him come in. And there he is. He's in the game. So we're gonna be getting started up shortly here. Just possibly he's got to get settled in, and it's 85% right now. So I mean, this map's, it could be over. Technically, it's not, but it will be hard for D United to secure this point.
And we need some Zambam, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, please, ladies and gentlemen in the chat, give them your Zambam.
Give them your Zambam. That's awesome. Zambam gonna go Winston. We finally have D United. They look like they have a decent front coming in here on the point. Genji gonna pop his ult. LaFon popping his ult. Oh. But immediately we have a Tranquility coming in on the point. We actually have Bonzo coming in here with the Hanzo ult. Finally, the Zarya Diva combo comes out, and that's gonna clean up both the Zenyatta and the Genji, and the Winston. But that's when LaFon comes in and cleans up as well. We need to see some sort of push come in, and that, but no, it's the game. I forgot that we were at
that round. It's just that round. So the game's over. They still got a chance to turn this around, and now that they have new Zambam in there, it's possible to work it out. That it happens. You never really know what will happen.
Think you can keep up with me?
I will not.
Zambam, bring it back, man. Zambam, it's all on you. Well, it's not all on you. It's all on you and your team. But he's going to be a little bit fresh in the game, so he even has less communication than the other 5 people on his team do, because they've all been playing it together, and he's just now getting in on his team. Both teams look like they're going to prepare to hop in now, and the gates are open. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We actually have a Lucio from both teams, so they're going to get to the point fairly quickly. MLX 32 is already getting to the point very fast here, but at the same time we have Rogue in the upper staircase. Going to do a lot of damage and really take this point fairly decisively here. We need the United to push in here somewhat. Reinhardt, Zambam coming in on the Reinhardt, trying to do a little bit of damage, but we actually have them getting pushed around. No kills coming out quite yet. Diva finally does get taken out from mech suit. At the same time, Reinhardt goes down on the point. That's 2 tanks down. Aziz and Lucio is going to try to come in here and get a little bit of time on the point, but unfortunately it's not going to be enough, and B United once again has to fall back.
Yeah, they didn't really fight on the point. They could have done that. They had the Reinhardt, so kind of fighting on the point would have been, I think, a little bit better for them. They kind of got stuck in that choke there, and LaFon was just able to dash through the majority of them. And look at that, LaFon already has ultimate, and he's just waiting to use it on him. He's gonna sneak up right behind them. They're gonna try to catch him off guard. Let's see if it really actually works out for them, though.
We see LaFon in the corner, just waiting to dash in. Does take out the Dragon Blade. Good, go for the Zenyatta. Take out the Zenyatta. Going for the Winston as well. Does actually get the kill on the enemy Genji, and does take out the Diva. Well played. Triple kill on the point. That's going to be devastating. Bonsai and Aziz are going to have to fall back and really just stay with their team. But that's a huge play coming in from LaFon, getting that triple kill.
We also have Cement going to try to sneak around and do the exact same thing, but with his ult. So let's see if they can fall for the same trick again, as they're really trying. Yeah, so Cement's going way out of position to just try to get a great stick on this team.
Coming in, notices a Lucio, notices a dang, just barely misses it, and we finally have the beat coming down here for Team D United. They're actually going to come in here with a little bit more defense. Zenyatta pops his ult as well. Both Zenyatta's just roaming around the map now. Diva comes in, pops her ult on the point, and that's actually going to clear up Lucio in the background. But so far, it looks like Brogue is holding a little bit better. We do have a couple kills going down on the point, though. Cement does take down Emily, and we finally have a... This looks like a very good fight. LaFon finally takes down his enemy Genji. So just maybe Brogue's gonna... Oh, and then here comes a combo from Brogue. Gonna clean up not too many people, though, unfortunately. And we do still have Brogue on the point. Really, at the end of the day, that push just didn't work out there for D United, and they need to find a way to get on the point because it's 99%, guys. That timer went off quickly. D.Va coming in out of her mech, take out Cement, but it's not going to be enough to completely take the point out. LaFon coming in here, going for another Dragon Blade on the D.Va. Possibly takes the D.Va out of her mech, getting her into that squishy body here. Winston does come in from Zabam, though, and he might be able to turn this around for his team. LaFon does take out the enemy Genji, going for the D.Va as well. Winston finally pops his Primal Rage, just trying to push everybody off the point so his team can cap. Oh, man, but unfortunately, D United just cannot get everybody off the point, and that's the game. Well played. Well played by Brogue, controlling that point. Oh, sorry. I keep saying round. I keep saying game, my bad.
Yeah, it's around, and I mean, they kind of started getting in there and getting a few kills on the side of D United, but it wasn't enough. LaFon doing an excellent job getting his ult very fast, and every ult he's had, he's gotten quite a few people with it. Unfortunately, Choppy Gamer popped his ult right at the time that Zen did, so he was only to catch D.Va after D.Va popped her self-destruct. So we are going to be seeing Choppy actually going to be getting off DPS and possibly going Zarya, so they might be running a triple tank here with both Zarya and a D.Va. So a little bit interesting here. You don't see that often, having both those the tanks that the off tanks for a dive down. Bonsai already taking out Lucio, which is great.
Winston gonna come in here and take out Zenyatta as well. Looks like D United's gonna have to fall back here once again. LaFon's gonna come in here and do a little bit of damage. Actually, D United, I'm sorry, I got the teams mixed up. D United takes this point very decisively. LaFon goes down, Nub goes down. Rogue's gonna have to figure out a way to get back in on this point because finally D United has taken the point and is putting up a decent defense. Let's see if Rogue can find a way to actually penetrate in to this point.
Yeah, they did a great job, taking out Lucio early on. Bonsai did. It was great for them to, it was the one that steal around, but, Winston had all that bubbles and defense matrix on. He was able to take out majority of the team. They're already getting Prime out of mech, as well as taking out Zenyatta, so this comp, while unorthodox, might actually work out great for them.
Almost. They're well coordinated. They're working together. They're staying in a group, and they're getting the picks they need to when they need to. I gotta say, Farah actually just used her ult in that room. Very well done there from their team, and LaFon actually switches to the Farah himself. This Farah and Farah Mercy combo is working out in dividends for Team D United here. They may be able to get a small comeback going on this point. We do have a fight going on in the background. Farah Mercy combo trying to get that room situated, but LaFon does take out his counterpart Bonsai. That's going to be a lot of damage lost from Team D United. D United does have a Rambe on the point, though, finally popping it. Going in for some damage if he can, but has to fall back. D.Va pops her ult on the point, misses the room, actually. Gets the corner room there. But we're still going to see Brogue slowly but surely pushing in to the point. Winston's still on the point, though, so that's going to be something they have to take out if they want to get through this defense. D United holding is very strong, but we finally get Zarya coming out with her ult. Followed immediately by a Zenyatta ult and a Lucio ult, negating a lot of the damage that we're seeing on this point. D United is holding it pretty well together here, and we might not see Brogue take this point back. I'm hoping D United can hold it as long as they can. It's already at 91%. All we have to do is get it a little bit farther, but we do have the ult coming out from Tracer along with the Zarya bomb, but unfortunately it just does not get the kills it needs. Oh, slowly but surely, though, D United does get taken out, and we finally have the point going back to Brogue there. And what an exchange. Yeah,
I mean, excellent defense, hold by D United for the first time we've really seen. They were clicking as a team tonight. It's a shame because that was really great teamwork they had this whole round. And to see if they get flanked, as Tracer is going to try to be flanking on them. So they have run pray to that a bit. And LaFon making the switch off Genji, it could end up hurting them, as he was doing a great job at Genji, but let's see.
Oh, by the way, Pippin, I think you have to transition the scene there.
Oh yeah, I do.
You guys missed a great fight, man. But anyway, we do finally have D United coming in here on the point, trying to do another push, and they're actually succeeding fairly well here. Cement does take down Bonsai, though, and that's when the Lucio is going to come in here and break it down for his team. Can they get the push that they need, though? Because we really want to see, D United's just not quite making it in there. Diva does pop her ult on the point, takes down the Lucio. Zarya does take down the Fair as well, but that's when a huge res comes in here from D United, and they're gonna get counteracted by a Zenyatta ult on the point there. Just a cluster on the point as they try to take over this King of the Hill map.
Back in the game.
Brogue is gonna hold that point very decisively here. A lot of kills coming out of Brogue, and they're going to hold it fairly strong here. Only 15% left for them to win the game. D United needs to come in with a front. And here they go, going for the bridge once again. Looks like they need to come in as quickly as they can. Harambe actually jumps in the middle on the point, going for a little bit of damage with the Mercy on his side as well. Goes into his primal rage mode. Isn't quite able to boop anybody. Diva comes in and pops her ult on the point, but the point's immediately cleared. Doesn't quite get kills with that. Bonsai does take out the opposing Zenyatta, though, does take out Zarya as well. Diva popping her out outside once again. But look, does get a triple kill, actually. We might actually have Brogue holding this point fairly well. Nobody left for D United, and that's going to be the game. Well played there by Brogue, but we actually saw D United coming in as a different team in the beginning.
Yeah, well, we saw it. Sorry for my mistakes there to everyone else. We had that pause, and it really I thought I really hit transition, because I went out of pause. I remember hitting the Windows button and doing it, but regardless, we did see a great kill by LaFon from earlier in that map, and unfortunately, we didn't get to see that whole game actually of Legion Tower. So unfortunately,
it's all good, man. You live, you learn, you move on.
Yeah, I mean,
Genji
it's
going
a
in there.
common thing with me when things start going more chaotic. When things unusual happen in the stream. I'm not blaming people leaving, but I'm gonna blame it because it's what happens.
Oh, that'll mess you up completely, man. I understand that.
We will be having. Sorry about that, guys. Maybe I'm not gonna stay on the screen because you guys have already seen the screen for the last quite a bit of minutes, and unfortunately, when you have a bunch of stuff on do not disturb, so you don't get noises or you don't get pinged while you're trying to do production, you run into those issues. So I didn't do that during the finals, though, so props to that. And I won't do it again today. It's
When the past is in the past. We got Brogue, and with Team Fluid coming up, both these teams have dominated their fights against Team D United, so we're finally going to see these two face off in the end there. And I got to say, I'm looking forward to this match, man, because both teams kind of dominated D United there, but because they did so well, you can't really say who did better. And so I don't know going into this match who I think is going to win.
I think there were times that that Brogue were really out of position that cost them. So they were trying to do a lot of sneaky flanks, but an organized team like Team Fluid might be able to counter that. So I think that was a big flaw with Brogue, was that there's many times, and it could have just been they knew that they could do it, so that's why they were doing it. But there's a lot of times where they would go purposely flank and try to be sneaky, and they would either be, it was 50-50, as we saw Choppy Gamer taking out LaFon and Cement. Majority of the time they were trying to flank, so it wasn't working all the time, but there were times where it was working excellent for them. And
I gotta say, actually, at the same time, Team Brogue did face off on Team D United after they've already had their first game, so they already had a little bit of a time to get to know each other. And we saw at the last match we just saw Team D United just holding a very strong defense for a long time, taking that point very decisively. So Team Brogue faced off with what I perceived as a different Team D United than Team Fluid did. So it's really gonna be interesting to kind of see these two teams finally clash and see what happens in this final battle. Who's gonna take home the gold, man?
Yeah, let's see. Brogue against Team Fluid. We will be seeing Watchpoint Gibraltar first. Following that up, we will be going to Nepal, and if needed, which hopefully we will need one, we'll be going to Game 3 on Horizon Lunar Colony. Be first time for Tough Ender to see that in like a competitive setting. So that's
that.
Let's see if they can get to it. We're waiting for one player from Team Fluid to get in here. Not sure.
I gotta say, on the what's that map called? Horizon again? It's called Horizon.
Horizon Lunar Colony. Yeah. So
they had the space part in the map.
Mm-hmm.
I know you can go outside and you can play around in space if you want to, but it's not like nobody goes there because it's not part of the direct path to the point. And I would just love to see.
It's not very ideal, but it is kind of like it can be a little bit sneaky. I mean, I wouldn't say it's fully sneaky because it's kind of like when you are defending, you can kind of see if anyone's going to go in there, and you know when they're going to come out of that door. So, but the thing is that door does close, so you could, not be expecting, or you can maybe think they're going to be coming out that door, and you wait at that door while they actually come around the other way. So, like, there's ways you could use it, and when you are out there, there is no sound, so it could be an advantage for you.
I've never thought about that, but that's a good point.
Yeah. So
I do wish that one of the points was a space point, though, man. That would be so cool. I know it'd just be unorthodox, and it probably would never get played in competitive, but just one point where you had to just be in zero gravity and there's no sound.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that'd just be
it'd be crazy. Yeah, because like so many people rely on sound. And some heroes would be like OP if they weren't so loud. Like Junkrat is really loud with his peg leg, and McCree with his boots is pretty loud as well. So there's quite a bit of heroes that are fairly loud that would be that would not be great if you couldn't hear them. So we are going to be going. Go ahead.
Space. I wonder.
You got cut off there. I think you were turning off mute.
You hear ultimates in space, I wonder.
I don't think you do. I think you really don't hear like anything. It dampens so much that it's hard to really hear anything. But we are going on Watchpoint Gibraltar with Brogue on the defense first, going with their standard dive here with a Genji, and a Genji instead of a soldier. And then on the side of Team Fluid, they might be going with the Sombra, but I think maybe they'll do the same thing as before other team and just jump off the map in the first minute, but not as effective to do on offense. Or on defense you can get away with it because you have time to run back, but I mean it's just wasting time on offense if you do it.
I would love to see them. I would love to see them stick this comp. It's just midweek madness, guys. We can play. It'd be great if we could see them play just like random classes. That'd be awesome. But we do have finally. Team Fluid's going to be on the offense, coming in here on the point very quickly. Talon's going to go ahead and start pushing the cart. Winston and Lucio already upstairs doing a lot of damage in that room, but they're not going to quite get the kills that they need. Diva does get taken out of her mech on the. For Team Fluid, but Team Fluid slowly but surely going to be able to push this cart. Winston, Nub in the back, trying to get a little bit of damage, going possibly for the Diva, but does get pushed out of there in the end. Brogue is actually Team Fluid's actually doing a very good job of just holding this cart together and really pushing it forward here. We actually have Team Brogue falling back and trying to compose themselves a little bit more now. D.Va actually not quite gonna escape, gonna get put into a fleshy body and get taken out there fairly quickly. So Team Fluid doing a lot of work and pushing this cart. We need Brogue to get together, synchronize, and get back on track.
Yeah, and look at it. Arrow and Zarkler are nearly almost have all the same with Indian Gamer, so they've been doing a lot of damage and getting a lot of alt charge in here. Upon nearly gonna take out, trying to get as much charge as you can to try to get a Dragon Blade and, do what he can against his team, but he's gonna take it himself. An Arrow is gonna be taking out both Nub and Stefan.
Actually, Team Fluid there, I believe it was Zarklord on the on the Lucio, going to pop his ult just for the momentum. They have a lot of momentum going into this point. They just want to keep it going. D.Va going to pop her ult into the point, just trying to clear the way for her team. Does get a kill on the enemy D.Va, and so now it looks like Team Fluid's really going to have that point to themselves. LaFon is on the point, though. A little bit of, even though he has a little bit of health, he still can't hold the point just long enough to get their team Winston in there. And Winston's going to pop his Primal Rage on the point and try to push everybody away. Team Fluid really needs to clean up here. Once again, though, the defensive D.Va coming in, getting an ult, and clearing the points. Team Fluid just needs to pick off these last few people before they get that last point. But slowly but surely, Brogue keeps coming in and just staying alive. And finally, we see them going down a little bit as Lucio gets a second ult in that exact same area. Gonna try to clean up that point and finally get that push that they needed. Can they take LaFon and Tracer down? Just barely do, and do get that final push in there. Well played for that first round. It took them a while to get there, but once they got there, they were good.
Yeah, Brogue had a pretty. They're really trying to, stall some time. They did stall quite a bit of time. I think it was down to a minute left there, but they definitely they didn't really know that they would be able to take it. But stalling time was good, and it was longer than I actually thought it would have been stalled for Nub jumping in and getting taken out early is not what they really want to do when a D.Va Max coming in and they have no shield. But
LaFon comes in and gets a nice kill on D.Va, gets a nice kill on Ana as well. He's going to clean up very well here. Team Fluid's going to come in and push the cart, though. Continue pushing the cart. Zenyatta pops his ult on the point, trying to keep the cart from moving. Both Winstons are on the cart now. Winston beat Winston a little bit. Primal Ridge coming out from Team Fluid, though. And they're going to come in here and really just try to push everybody away from that cart so they can get a few more inches in there. Unfortunately, we have, I believe his name is Norb. Norb staying on the point as that Lucio. Very easy for Lucio to stay on the point there. Defensive Primal Rage coming out on the point as well. Does get put to sleep, but immediately woken up there by Arrow. The cart just looks completely stagnant as both teams really try to get a dominating foothold out here, but we do have the kills coming in from Team Fluid. Team Fluid finally getting those kills that they needed, and gonna get that cart pushed out. D.Va gonna come in with her ult just to clear the way. Does get the Genji, and unfortunately Brogue's gonna have to fall back. D.Va does get taken out of her mech and has to fall back in her squishy form, but it's just gonna be one more point there for Team Fluid. Very good pushes here. We have some stalling from Team Fluid or from Team Brogue, but Fluid's getting a really good roll in here.
yeah, and Talon got to with his blade. Got Nano, not really sure the Nano was needed, but they still were able to get a great push around here, and they have an extra stride going in there. They didn't use too many ults. They still got Zarkblade's ult coming in, but Prime there getting a kill on Arrow is going to be halting this offense.
I'm actually surprised Arrow couldn't get out of the way of that. That there wasn't much behind that ult. I didn't think it was going to get anybody, but Arrow does get taken down. That's going to be a lot of energy from the offense negated, so the offense may have to do with somewhat of a dry push in here. Coming in, Soldier v Genji upstairs. Winston coming in on the points as well. And D.Va coming in, but Norv is doing a great job of just holding that point back and really controlling it. Tracer does take down the does take on the offensive Ana, though. That's going to be a lot of heals lost there for Team Fluid. D.Va does come in and pop her ult on the point. Doesn't quite get the kills that she was looking for. But we just have everybody on the point really trying to get a foothold. Lucio does pop his ult, trying to keep his team alive for Team Brogue. And Team Brogue finally controlling that point a little bit and slowly but surely pushing Team Fluid back away from that cart.
They do heading up here. Playing the Zarya, had high energy, but fortunately getting taken out. They did have a few switches as Lafon is no longer in Genji. Opted to go with the Soldier 76 as maybe his Genji wasn't being as hot as it was in the previous game. So, and the Zarya, a little interesting, but I mean, they did have a great combo in the previous game of on Escort Dorado, but big fight coming in here is ults are popped all over the place, but no kills by the Blade.
D.Va gets put to sleep for a long time there, but we do have both teams finally on the point, trying to get a little bit of damage in there. Zenyatta does go down for Team Brogue, so that's going to be a lot of heals lost for them. D.Va does pop her ult on the point, doesn't quite get the kills, but does clear out the point for Team Fluid to really get that push in there. Brogue is doing a great job of holding that defense, but at the same time, Team Fluid has the numbers, and Norb is really the only one on the cart right now, guys. Take out Norb and you can get that push in that you needed. Zenyatta or Zarya ult comes in on the point, but it's not going to be enough to really get the kills. And we do see Team Fluid finally getting that last push in there. We do have a D.Va, Zarya, and Zenyatta on the point, though, so maybe they can hold it back for their team while they get back together. Unfortunately, all the kills are coming out. Lafon doing a great job of putting the kills and damage onto Team Fluid, but we still have a Winston on the point and a Genji on the point as well. Winston does get taken down. Genji and Tracer left alive with a Lucio. Can they get those kills, take them out, and clear the point? Possibly, but it looks like they're actually holding the cart fairly well, pushing people away. Great boops coming in here from Zarkloid there. That's going to really get those extra inches that they need. They only need a few more, but we do have Team Brogue finally coming together and holding that last defense. They need to hold it for only 30 more seconds. So Team Fluid really needs to come in with that final push and get that point. They're going to jump in here on the point. The Dragon Blade immediately comes out, but that's when Zenyatta pops his ult on the point as well, keeping his team alive and well from that Zenyatta Blade. Husky does come in and does a nice D.Va ult. Going to take down 2 defensive players, and that's going to mean that Team Fluid can really come in here and push in with his team. They actually do have Lucio coming in with his ult as well. Going to have a lot of defense, but that's when the D.Va ult comes out on the point, clearing out the point a little bit. And we actually have Rogue holding it very well on the defense. Whose game it is now, I have no clue, but there are a ton of ults coming out on this point as we have 0 seconds left. Team Fluid really needs to come together and figure out how they're going to get this push, but they only have 3 people on the point. Zarya does go down. Looks like Lucio might go down here as well. Lucio goes down. Winston going down on the point, and that's going to be the game. Well played and good defense there in the end by Brogue.
Yeah, the Fawn busting out that ult going to really help his team out and get taken 2 off, and then really distracting the Winston who jumped off the point. And surprisingly, were they able to hold that? You know, it was like a fingernail away from getting to that point. You know, every time they were just pushing a little bit, and just the defense. And I mean, I gotta give props to Cement and the Fawn for being able to stay on the point for as long as they did. And, you know, I mean, Cement had really great times where he'd, get that kill and get that perfect recall that was just in time so that he could stay on the point and contest a bit.
I'm loving the fact that Team Brogue finally held that strong defense. Team Fluid looked like they were somewhat rolling. Brogue had a little bit of a good defense on the first point, somewhat on the second point. But that third point, they just held it out. And I got to say, that's the kind of game I like to see. I like to see the defense holding out, at least at the very end point, till the end of the game. Because that's just like, it's just somewhat of a comeback. I'm the comeback guy, man. I love to see these comebacks.
Yeah, and a comeback could happen. We've seen Lafon's team, Brogue, they did excellent against D-United, just as well as, and if not maybe better than Team Fluid did against D-United. So, I mean, who sees, it is a different map, different maps, tell a different story. So, we never really know what will happen as Talon is getting off the Genji, is going to be on that Winston, hiding in that same spot the Fawn did when the Fawn actually got killed last game. So let's see what happens with the Reaper here. So you don't see Reaper that often. I mean, I'd say in pro meta, he's getting up a lot better, but he's already going to go right after Cement and forcing Cement to use a recall.
Yeah, looks like we got team Team Brogue already on the cart, doing a fairly good job of pushing it, and not finding too much resistance just yet. Diva v Diva, or Tracer v Tracer fight in the top there, Indian Gamer and Cement, but looks like that's going to fall out fairly quickly here, and we really finally have both teams collapsing onto the point. Diva on the point, going to try to do a little bit of damage in that corner room. A huge fight actually going on in this corner room. Winston does go down for the defense. That's going to be a huge pick for Team Brogue here. And Team Brogue is going to push through. Diva taking out on the point as well. Gets in her squishy form. Lucio on the point has to fall back with his team. And that means the cart's going to get pushed here by Team Brogue. Brogue doing a great job of really putting the damage down and getting the kills in that they need. Challenger try come in here and clean up for his team, but can't quite get the damage that he needs to clear that point. Winston's going to jump in though, and Arrow's hopefully going to get the kills I need. Nope, gets taken down immediately. Brogue is doing a great job of really putting out a lot of damage and controlling that cart so that whenever anybody jumps in, they immediately get taken out. Diva going out just as I say that. Talon going out as well. Tracer in the background going to go out as well. Tries to put a bomb down, but doesn't quite get anybody. Brogue's throwing a lot of dominance and is really getting a good push going. That's going to be I think that's going to be the first point to Team Brogue.
Yeah, and they actually got to that point faster than Team. You know, I mean, they weren't able to stall like Brogue did. Brogue had an excellent stall on this first time, and LaFon's going to come and bust out with that Dragon Blade. Only getting one with his dash. But it did clear them back a bit so they get further. And you know, when you have this more time, you know, it's gonna help them out in the long run, especially since it was down to the wire at the end of the game and that overtime. And I mean, it could just be both these teams are really great at offending and not that great at defense. So
I
feel like this one's gonna go to an overtime as well in the end, though.
Into overtime. Winston does get the nano boost coming in from Ana though, and the entirety of Team Fluid does get the the entirety of Team Brogue does get the non-healing potion. Diva comes in with her ult, gonna get 2 nice kills, both support classes, and finally takes out finally gets back in he takes out Prime. Very well done there from Team Fluid, really cleaning up there and forcing Brogue to fall back and rethink their strategy coming forward.
Yeah, we do have more alts going to be, or we're going to have more alts going to be available on the side of Brogue. Not by much, so as Talon's close to getting ult as well, so we could have a 4 Nub so close. So we could be seeing a combo come. We've seen Nub and Prime use a combo in the past to get a near team kill. Let's see if they can do it again, or if they even need to do it again coming into this next point here.
And they're putting up a fairly good offense here, but Tracer in the background is going to try to kill the Zenyatta if she can for Team. Zenyatta finally having to pop his Tranquility on the point just to keep his team alive and keep himself alive as well. So that's going to mean that there's now a whole lot of defensive ults for Team Brogue. Team Brogue actually goes in for the Diva ult without the without the Zarya ult. The Zarya ult got used somewhere else. And so it looks like Team Fluid's really going to clean up on the second point. The defense that we didn't see on the first point is really being held out here.
Great play by Husky. Husky actually absorbed the Zarya ult, and I think they were going for that combo. But when you see a Zarya just running into a Diva, it's kind of obvious that they're going to try to shoot it right at the ground, which is usually done so they can avoid it being absorbed. But unfortunately, they were not able to. It didn't work out for them, and that absorption is not really what Rogue wanted, as they're losing time now.
Oh, they had a lot of time because they had a lot of time already because they got that first point, but they can't afford to waste it on the second point either. They need to get in there, and that's exactly what they're going to do with this nano boosted Winston. Winston going to come in here and try to clean him up. Sorry, for Team Fluid actually. Very well done by the defense there, using that one ult really to control the point for that amount of time. Team Fluid is just holding a very strong defense on the second point, and I don't think Brogue knows how to approach it. He does have his tactical visor ready. I wanted to see him pop that out any second now. But we finally have, once again, Brogue coming in here, looking for a little bit of damage. Diva's going to hop up on the top, but does get immediately pushed into a room with Winston. Going to be alone in that room, unfortunately, and might have to get out of her mech. Yep, gets taken out of her mech there. Diva does get down both her squishy form and her mech form. But we do see a couple losses of Arrow and of Ana coming in from the offensive team. So finally, Brogue is finding that push that they needed and is finding a way into this point. Lucio's going to break it down on the point with Farah, but that's only 3 people he's got with Tracer as well. That's only 3 people who he's broken it down with, and they're going to get taken down really quickly there. Indian Gamer go down very quick. Farah just barely staying alive with Lucio, but that was just enough time for Team Fluid to get their defense back up. D.Va coming into pop her ult just to keep people off the point, does take out D.Va from her mech. And that means she's got to fall back with her team. Team Brogue really needs to find a way to penetrate this defense because even when they did have a solid push, they couldn't clean it up.
We've seen up here having quite high charge, but unfortunately unable to use it effectively. And teams just getting pushed back too quickly. There's only 40 seconds left. That's not a lot of time. There's really only one more push for Brogue to do, and they had such a great beginning of the match, but now they they get a bit counter. I mean the Fawn did switch off of Genji and did go with the soldier. Probably the counter of the Pharah, but I think that he could have kept going with the Genji. Not to put blame on him, he's doing great, but I don't think he needed to go with the Pharah. I think they were doing fine with the Genji,
And we do have talent in the back. Actually was hiding to use that rocket barrage. Does take down the Zenyatta. That's gonna be a good pick. But Lucio, I think Lucio accidentally gets nano boosted. A huge Zarya ult in coming from Brogue though, and they're gonna clean up on that point. Very well done. They just might get this last point because that's 4 people down here for Team Fluid. And yes, they barely get that push in. And Brogue wants it. Oh, do they have the point? I think yeah, they do. They just barely got enough time to get that point in. Anna's going to be left out here alone. She might get taken out. Does get taken out by the soldier there.
Yeah,
LaFawn doing a great job on the soldier.
I swear LaFawn, as soon as I said, he was doing great with Genji and soldier, but like as soon as I said, he could have went back to Genji, that he just started, carrying this team as they got to the point and just halted D.Va before D.Va could get back in mech and onto the point as he knocks D.Va right back out of mech. Now they're going to be pushing around. They're on the last turn here. Really like the first choke, the main choke of this road streak here. And they got 45 seconds to do it.
It looks like Arrow's doing a lot of damage, just keeping people off that point, but he does have a Discord Orb on him, so he's going to take a lot of damage in return, trying to keep as many people off that cart as they can. But while there's a fight going on in the background, we have Team Fluid actually... Sorry, Team Brogue actually getting a little bit of a push in here. Team Fluid notices that very quickly and cleans up the point very effectively once again. Farah does take down D.Va in the back, and we do need Brogue to come back together and get this push because we only got 18 seconds left. They didn't get a whole lot of time from that second point. Team Fluid is doing a very strong defense. Norb gonna come in here and try to push somebody off the cart. Nub coming in here as well as the Zarya gonna try to do a little bit of damage. Winston's gonna hop in and really clean up the point for his team. D.Va on the point as well. At this point, it's a last-ditch effect for Brogue. We're going to have Zenyatta go ahead and pop his ult, trying to keep his team alive. Mercy does go down. D.Va does get taken out of her mech, and so that's going to mean not a lot of defense for Team Fluid. Borg might be able to come in here and clean up, but that's when Lucio pops his ult for Team Borg. Once again, trying to keep it alive. Team Fluid just has 1 person on the cart at any given time, maybe 2, but it's always enough to keep the cart from moving, and that's all they need because they have respawns right at the door back there. Graviton Surge does come out, and is it going to get any kills? It isn't quite capitalized on. That's going to mean that Team Fluid really has a strong defense here, and slowly but surely, Brogue is going to fall down. Lucio and Genji on the point, but Mercy doesn't get taken out. Possibly gonna stay on this point, but the defense is very strong and in favor of Team Fluid.
Yeah, they have that spawn advantage right there. Plus Mercy has res, so just even if Brogue can get a bunch of kills, there's a res right there coming out, and there's a big disadvantage on the side of Brogue.
2 break it down simultaneously. That was awesome to see. We really do have Brogue actually doing a great job of keeping this game at least in overtime. D.Va's gonna come in here and try to clear the point. Does get 2 kills. That's gonna be very strong for Team Fluid. Other offensive D.Va coming in and trying to do a little bit of damage herself. Prime does get D-Mech fairly quickly though because the defense is holding out strong, and that's gonna be Rocket Barrage to end the game. Well played by Team Fluid.
Yeah, as I stated, I knew this was gonna go right to that last point to overtime, and unfortunately, Brogue having a bit of an issue on that second point there. You know, having to force that into overtime as well. Didn't give them as much time as they really wanted on this last point. I mean, the hanger phase is sometimes one of the more harder phases to attack, because I think there's a lot of advantage for the defense. But yeah, because Husky having quite a bit of actually great Diva bombs, and there's another one right there. Like, also, it's a little clean kill on the baby Diva. And yeah, I wouldn't sell this story short as really great game. And let's see what happens when we go to Nepal.
Gets that momentum, they keep that momentum. But the minute they lose it, they start getting shaky. They got that first point just super strong, and they were getting into that second point very well. And the minute we saw, I forget what her name was, the minute we saw Diva's ult from the defense that got those 2 kills that they needed, it was kind of a turnaround. They kind of lost a little bit of their footing, lost a little bit of their momentum, and that's when Team Fluid was able to hold their defense very well. They held the defense well on second point. They held the defense well on a third point. And the end, the Brogue was just not able to get that momentum back. And so once they start winning, they need to keep winning, because if they lose, Team Fluid's going to capitalize on it.
Yeah, I'm assuming we're going to see probably the same comps here. Maybe Azaria coming back for Brogue, because we've seen that quite a bit. Yeah, I definitely think we might see Pharmacy coming out by Team Fluid. We've seen that a bit by them. But for the most part, Brogue's been running the same comp.
This map is going to be Nepal. Have we played Nepal yet tonight? We have not.
Nope,
So.
we have not. We haven't seen any. Every map is unique to each round here.
It'll be good to see some more boops coming out. I know we had a lot of chances for boops on Li Zhang, I think it was. But I think Nepal is one of the better boop maps to have. And so I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of, we're definitely going to see a lot of Lucio play. I'm looking forward to seeing those boops coming out from both Lucios on the team.
Yeah, especially if we do get to I believe it's Sanctum. I get confused with Shrine and Sanctum here, but we are going to be going to, I believe this is Shrine. People are going to set me wrong. So Shrine has some boop potential, but really the boops are going to be coming from Sanctum when we go to that map, and that's where you definitely are going to be seeing some Pharah and Lucio likely, and looks like we are going to be seeing the Zarya coming out from Nub. We aren't going to be seeing the Winston on the side of Brogue this time. Brogue is again in the blue team, so we are going to, as I said, we are going to Shrine here, as I believe people can correct me, and it'll be 2 minutes later before I get corrected. And we're going to be having that standard dive coming out from Team Fluid with Talon on that Genji. I was opting to go Reaper, but decided I'm going to stay Genji. I've been doing well with Genji, which he has, and we'll see if he ends up going to Pharah later on. But for now, Genji it is.
Looks like both teams are already getting to the point as quick as they can. But we just see Team Brogue barely getting in there. Actually, they both get in there about the same time. Huge fight going on the point. Winston goes down his shield, going to try to negate a little bit of damage for his team. LaFon taking on Arrow fairly quickly there. But we do have another kill coming out of Team Fluid fairly quickly on the Zenyatta. It looks like slowly but surely everybody's going down on this point. Both teams are about even with the kills, though. But finally, we have Team Fluid. A lot of red on this point as Team Fluid cleans it up. Prime going to go down as well. LaFon looks like he's going to get taken down. Norb is going to get taken down as well. So that's going to mean Team Fluid dominates this first point. The board really needs to come back together and get a decisive push in here. And like I said,
had a good start to this point. LaFon had that early pick on Arrow. You think your main thing's down. That's a big thing. That's already happened. But that wasn't the case, as you see. Now Fluid's already at 15%. They're going to try to jump in it fairly fast. No one really that close to ult except for Indian Gamer.
I think one of the big things was that Arrow got back so quickly. And so now we have Team Field here, or Team Fluid, sorry, I read the name wrong. Once again, really holding a good defense. Diva already gets her ult and pops it. Ooh, gets a nice kill on the squishy D.Va body there. Zarya barely getting a shield up in time and just holds on to her life, but has to fall back because Team Fluid's just offensively pushing in. Gonna try to take D.Va out of her mech if they can, but are gonna fall back here finally. Just trying to control Team Brogue and fall back to, once again defend the point.
Yeah, I mean, both Genji Tracers have their ultimates. And Lucio close to his as well, so expect a big team fight. Gargamel again taking out G-Alex with some discords. It's happened twice in a row now, but Mafan is going to try to pop his blade. Unfortunately, doesn't get anyone, but does force him to use the beast.
Rage is going to come out on the point as well. Looks like we have all the support classes basically popping their ults on the point for Team Fluid here, trying to keep this point. So that's going to mean they have a slight disadvantage as far as the ults go. Zarya does come out with her ult, along with a D.Va ult as well. Might get this kill, but it's negated there very quickly by Galix. Very well done there, holding his ult and keeping it until the combo came out. It was a good combo from Brogue, but it's just negated, and it wasn't quite enough to get them the point that they needed. Lucio's going to go ahead and break it down for his team, keeping his defense very strong as Brogue tries to come in here and figure out exactly how they want to get this point. But it is overtime, folks, so Brogue needs to get this point. If they're going to get it at all, they need to get it right now. They do have a lot of blue on the point, though. The kills are coming in. Genji's the last one on the point and does get taken down. Brogue might have this in the bag. What?
Yeah, Cement had an extremely well planned stick, and with Lafon being able to dash in there and take out another enemy right after Cement lowered their health. So the Cement really kind of carried that push there. Excellent plays, and was able to help them take out the Genji as well. And Lafon's going to be the only one with ult on any side of the board, so expect that to be used soon, as no one has anything to counter it.
Quantum Lee comes in here, cleans up the D.Va, cleans up the Lucio as well, going for another kill if he can, but does do a very good job of keeping the point for his team. That's up to 40% for Team Brogue, but they cannot lose this point at all because Team Fluid's already at that 99, that sweet 99 that they need. Team Fluid really needs to figure out a way to get into this defense because, like I said, when Brogue has momentum, they do it well. So all Team Fluid has to do is break that momentum, and they'll win and they'll probably get this point back. Let's see what they can do here. Winston already going to hop in on the point if he can, with his D.Va friend as well. Going for the Zarya. Zarya puts up her shield, and defensively, the Zenyatta ult is popped for Team Brogue. Team Brogue, both defensive ults are popped, but Genji comes in here. Has a disco rub on him, but does get the kill on the Zenyatta. Does get the kill on Lucio as well. Team Fluid coming in with force, but we immediately have the D.Va ults both coming out on the point, going to try to clear it twice. Team Fluid does come in, though, with their using that Zenyatta ult. They're able to position themselves onto the point and possibly take it back here. We only have a little bit of a contestation back, and that's actually going to be the point back to Team Fluid. Overtime is coming in, though. Let's see if Team Brogue can possibly come back into this.
There is one on the point, but it doesn't look like it's only the Genji, and Genji's not going to be enough for this team as they have everyone there. And Brogue had a good chance at trying, to take this first map, but this first map's going to be going to Team Fluid, and Cement, had really great plays there as that Tracer. And let's see if we do see a switch up here, by possibly Talon going on the far, as this is the map that we talked about with other boots, as we are going to be going to Sanctum now.
Mercy on call.
We do have a Pharah coming out of Team Fluid, but not quite a Pharah coming out of Brogue yet. It looks like they've chosen to stick with their Genji and their dive so far. So we'll see how it works out with them once again.
No Winston either, but Risa possibly. Risa does have big potential to get people off the map with her halt ability. But we do have a triple DPS coming out with a Reaper on the side of who already actually takes out on the side of Team Fluid.
Oh man, and the kills are just rolling in here for Team Fluid. Reaper goes down. Arrow finally does pick out another. But Team Fluid is just going to control this point very effectively here and already take that first point not only take the first point, but just push the entirety of Brogue back into their spawn. We do have Brogue coming in here slowly but surely trickling in from the sides, but they really have to figure out exactly how they want to make this push, because that first point they lost decisively. Ritza coming in here with a lot of shielding already on her. Her shield's down, and Zarya's shield is on her as well. But even with that, she's going to have to fall back immediately, because the damage coming in from that Pharah up top is just too strong. LaFon finally taking that pesky Lucio down for Team Fluid. So that's a few less heals for Team Fluid here. They might be able to push in and capitalize on that death. But it looks like Genji's going to go down here for Team Brogue. Or Brogue. I keep reading it wrong. Team Brogue. And we just might have a push coming in from their team.
Big quadruple here coming out by Husky, and I mean, really, there's no one to counter Husky. So Husky's, just having a field day here as just getting kills and putting out big bursts of damage that allows the team to get any cleanup kills that Husky doesn't, as well as a tremendous amount of ult charge. And there's no ults really available on the side. A Brogus up LaFon is close to getting his Dragon Strike, so let's see if that comes out, but he gets taken out by Talon, unfortunately.
Brogue's basically stuck in a corner here, and does get like a triple kill. Reaper coming in here to do a lot of damage with the Indian Gamer, and that's going to mean that Brogue once again has to fall back. They do have their Tracer alive in the corner there, but she's not going to be able to take this point alone. Is going to go back with her team. That Tracer and Reaper combo really just did a lot of damage, especially with Pharah in the background backing them up. Team Fluid really just is pushing out the DPS, and Team Brogue needs to figure out a way to get their own DPS on the point. Rich is going to come in here fairly alone, but comes back with their team along with the Lucio and with the Zenyatta. Zenyatta's going to pop his Tranquility and fall off the map. Oh my gosh, that was rough. But we do have Arrow coming in here and getting a double kill as well. Unfortunately, it might not be enough, because we do have a couple people still on the point. Pharah and Lucio and Tracer on the point here from Brogue, so they might be able to clean this up and finally take it for the team. And yes, they do. They both LaFon coming in here and cleaning up as the Pharah finally gets those kills for his team.
LaFon decided, I'm going to fight fire with fire, literally, and goes with the Pharah, gets off the Hanzo, and already is at 56% ult percentage. And I mean, there's really no ults available on the side. There are quite a bit of ults available for Team Fluid, and unfortunately, Gargamel going down, it's not what they want to see.
Oh, it's not. Norv going down as well. That's going to mean Team Fluid can pop in here very quickly. Diva's going to go down on the point. Bear's going to come in here and pop her ult as well. And that's going to mean the Team Fluid decisively takes this point back. It doesn't look like there's too much. But Pharah comes in here and cleans up. Taking out the Lucio, taking out the Reaper, but does get taken down by the Tracer in the end here. But it looks like Indian Gamer might be the only person left on the point. Tries to pop her ult, can't get it off. And Team Brogue barely holds back. It barely holds on to that team, but is able to do it with their supports and one Tracer. Well played by Brogue there.
Yeah, there's still an ult, there's still a res available. Both supports abilities available for Team Fluid, which they're definitely going to want to get that Mercy down before anything happens. We do have a Pharmacy versus Pharmacy battle coming up, but unfortunately Gargamel is going to be getting taken out, and it's going to be LaFon's closest LaFon as well, so that's not good news for Brogue.
So I just saw Zark break it down and immediately fall off the map here. Team Fluid doing a really good job, trying to push in here and possibly getting the kills that they need. Prime does go down. So that's gonna be a lot of defense gone from Team Brogue here, but Team Fluid still can't quite get the kills they need. Mercy is still alive though. Can they? Yes, they do take down the Mercy, and that's gonna be the point back to them. Brogue needs to come in here in overtime and get in as quickly as possible, but it looks like Diva's gonna get rejected fairly quick, and that's gonna be the end of that round.
Yeah, as soon as they made that switch, kind of had their own far of their own. Brogue, decided to come right into the point. It's almost like the last time. They made some switches, or it was 99%. They were able to get to the point, and that's exactly what happened. And as you saw there at the end, Prime did get every single member of that team, and maybe it was a pity play of the game. It might not be play of the game though, because it was actually at the end of the round, but. It was a sextuple kill.
Mercy on
we are going to be seeing the Fawn going back to the Genji, but the same comp's going to be sticking around for Team Fluid as they're going to be going with that triple DPS pharmacy with the Reaper.
The end of the game. Team Fluid's actually going to come in here from the top area as well. Both teams are meeting in the top. Reaper's going to come in here and do a lot of damage on that Tracer. Tracer's going to have to recall back fairly quickly here. Pharah v Mercy combo. Pharah Mercy combo is fighting each other in the air. Spectacular fight going on, but we do have some kills from Team Fluid. Team Brogue is actually going to take this point because they are just slightly manned up. They got some nice kills in the beginning there. Husky's going to go down, Galix is going to go down, and that's going to be the point for Team Brogue. If they can keep up this momentum, they might have this game.
Yeah, the Fawn's doing a great job as Pharah and countering Pharah. I mean, his shots have been pretty much on point, and dishing out a lot of damage right now and trying to, show, really who's the real Pharah to be messed with, and he's been doing a great job, this pharmacy play.
Sorry, Team Fluid's gonna come here very quickly though and try to get that point back if they can. Pharah Mercy just trying to figure out exactly how they want to take this point. Arrow's gonna get Prime down. Prime taking out of her mech and her squishy body as well. So it looks like Team Fluid just might be able to come in here and get the kills that they needed to take this point back. Now taking the objective, and that's gonna be the point to Team Fluid. And they got the kills they needed, and the Pharah Mercy combo really couldn't get inside and do any DPS.
But looks like they possibly beginning to point back, as not many are on the point. They did it 3/4 way when Prime decided, or Husky decided to be able to get a mech and Winston.
I always get my way.
The point, and he's gonna get taken out very quickly, and that's gonna be the point. Team Fluid just barely able to hold on, but is able to hold on. They get those reinforcements and just continue taking out Brogue. Brogue needs to find a new way to take this point back, and the ult advantage is not in their favor. So it's gonna be kind of interesting to see how Brogue comes together and goes into this one-sided fight almost. A Reaper on Talon, or Talon on Reaper does have his ult ready, so it's gonna be interesting to see him pop it. The fight is going down on the point. Winston does pop his Primal Rage for the defense, just gonna try to push as many people as they can off the point there, but it doesn't look like it's gonna get too many people out just quite yet. Prime is looking low and does get taken out, but does pop her ult, and that's gonna get not as many kills as you'd hope. The point is immediately cleared, and Diva does come in. Bear actually comes in, LaFon comes in, gets a nice double kill. That's gonna be a lot of supports gone for Team Fluid. That might be what Brogue needed to really come in here on this point, but we do have a Winston raging on the point, along with a Reaper, and Reaper's gonna come in here and do a nice ult, taking out both the Diva and taking out a Lucio in the process. So Team Fluid finally holding this point very well, and just barely able to hold on, but
I've got you.
A lot of ults
Team
was
Brogue.
used there too, though, as you had Talon, Arrow, and Galix, and Indie Gamer all use their ults, so there's still 3 ults available, but it's do or die now. Is they're gonna have to get on the point as fast as they can, and Gargamel's gonna really want to try to stay away so that Gargamel can use their res now if it's needed.
might be needed in this next fight. We had Lucio's both on the point breaking it down, but looks like in the end Team Fluid Team Fluid's getting a lot of kills, but that's where the res comes in from Brogue. A very nice res there from Gargamel, and that's gonna mean that her team stays live on the point. Actually, Reaper's going down, Arrow's going down on the point, so it looks like Brogue just might take this point back, and yes, back in the hands of Brogue and going up, counting up to 50.
Now Husky
like
does
now.
have ult again. Now LaFon's trying to get it back. We would have Pharah and Pharah ults on the board, but right now we do have Brogue's backs against the wall. It's 99%, and they're down 2-0, as well as down 1 map in this series. So if they can't take this, if they fail to win this map in this game, then it's going to be Team Fluid as your Midweek Madness champions.
Here we come, all the ults popping on the point. Reaper gets a huge triple kill on the point, really taking out Team Brogue there, and that's going to mean Team Fluid takes that point back. With that res, it's going to solidify the end of the game. No way Brogue comes back, and that's going to be the game to Team Fluid. I got to say, Reaper, Talon's kills back there might be play the game.
Yeah, and likely as this talent was doing a great job, but it's going to be the Fawn on the games you played. Let's see, I was going to say, I think it was this map, and
Here we go. Dragon Blade comes out, taking out Zenyatta, going for the kill on Tracer. Gets to the Lucio as well. That was playing the game.
kills
for sure.
before the ult was even used. So congratulations to Team Fluid. They win Midweek Madness number 11 for the North American side. So congratulations. You guys will be getting your pink names. And yeah, really great series there. And thank you all for watching. Thank you, Tough Hunter, for joining, and for everyone who is watching. If you're not in the community already, please go to our Discord at discord.gg/OWUniversity. Follow us here. Follow us on Reddit at OWUniversity, and be sure to check out our website at OWUniversity.com. I'm Pimp the Crib. And this is Tough on Dirt.
Tough on Dirt.
And yeah, it was great casting, and hopefully we see you guys come back, and hopefully you guys you guys want to participate in Midweek Madness. They'll be on the Discord every Wednesday. Come and sign up. We might be doing some more events that teams can sign up, and also season 3 we'll be trying to give out information on that soon. Projected date, we're looking at end of August, early September, so stay tuned around that if you want to sign up your team for that. But anyway, thanks for watching, and take care.